YouTube, we are live with Inscryption, day 3. What I'm assuming here is the end of Inscryption. We've gotten very far. Mochi, what are you eating? Go! Go, baby, go! And we are dealing with Poe's realm, the robot realm. Who knows, though, but it does feel like the end of the game. I could be wrong. Mochi. Woohoo! So let's go get it, folks. Inscryption, continue. Let us go see. Mochi. Mochis! So cute. So cute. Alright. If I'm not mistaken, we're supposed to be going to... Oh, no, we're here, we're here. So this is the bridge we crossed. This is the final Poe area. The hell? Okay. Is that gravesite? Oh, this is another buff? This one is free. Your empty vessels are going to be conduits now. Don't worry about it. Okay, then. Done. Just had to be patient. Sure. We are transmitting the signal. Is that a machine gun? Let's do a few fights. Let's see what this is. What is that? What is this? A card bearing the sigil may complete a circuit, but provides no effect. Okay. Interesting. Nice. Listen, my cards are OP as shit. That's all I gotta say. My cards are thoroughly overpowered. Shit. Double gunner. Nice. See, I feel like some of these mechanics don't even matter. Alright. Another one. Good. So I'm assuming we have to kind of transmit the signals, right? So there's one up here. Yeah. I have to take the recycler. Okay. We're going to trade now. Oh, they're all bad. Oh, God. Tough sell. Buff when powered. If a card bearing the sigil is within a circuit, it gains 2 power. That's not bad. The creature opposing a card bearing the sigil gains 1 power. I feel like tough sell should be okay. Now give me something. I kind of don't want to. Let's do Leap Bot, sure. Oh, there we go. Robo-Bucks! $6. Oi, mate! Look at me now, something of a celebrity right now. Me reward for dredging out that thing. I get you be something of dialogue to say. What the fuck did you just say? Something a little strange for sure. Poe let me talk, aye? But not a boss, not one of them Uber bots. Not even unless you did that for your mates. I might have got the wrong end of the deal. Oh, this is the recycler? Yeah, right. So we can recycle a card here. So let's just recycle the tough sell that we just got. Good night, sweet prince. Thank you. Junk. Money. Lovely. And that's it. We got them all. So now what? Oh. Ow! Okay. So now we have to get a card again? Oh, God. Okay. Trade time. I could do a shield bot. Sure. Another shitty shield bot. What would I trade here? I kind of like all of these. Probably the energy bot. Sure. Oh shit, here we go. Any items are back online, bot spawner offline. Okay. See anything familiar? This is his room. Trader. What is this? Okay. Oh, Christ, lady. So see these conduits? They really don't matter. Just destroy them. Yeah, get this shit out of here. Those I'll keep. That's fine. Sure. Lovely. 3 cost. Let's do Sonia. Shield bot. That's the shitty one we just got. Not very useful, but that's fine. You know, I should have just ended it with one play. There we go. Nice. A GG! A GG. Upgrade. Pochi. Pochi, what are you doing? Are you okay? Choose one. This is another upgrade, eh? Let's do the shield bot. Since we just got him, we need to make him decent. No, this is a completely different, like, section of the game. You have to play these cards. Mystery. When a card bearing the sigil perishes, a random card is created in your hand. It's kind of fun. Sure. And he's a shield bot, so he's meant to die, so that's fine. Okay. Oh, Christ. Oh, it's this thing. So we have to break through and destroy that. The beasts are dead, yeah. The beasts are dead, sir. Okay. Cool. We need some big damage. What's taking so long? No, you're gonna see, don't worry. I've got the goods coming in. Nice, easy enough. And that's all she wrote. GG. Good. Well, the final one. Nice. Botopia, thanks you for your service. Let's move on. My deck is good now, man. I was able to clean it up. Not have so many. Okay. And, save it. Save it for the occasion. Shit. Here he is. Probably my least favorite boss coming up. Something about her innocence. It makes me queasy. But it's important that you do this. Unpacking golly.zip. Golly. That's my name. You can call me Golly. I'm so excited. We're about to explore it. The web. I sure hope I can get a good connection. Here we go. Nifty, we're in. Isn't the web wonderful? Mole. What the hell? Where's a mole? Adorable. Well, that isn't mole.
Check. The pizza was delicious. And
Oh, you are
tomorrow
right, sir.
is a good day cause I am going to give blood so work free for 2 days.
Nice. Hey, that's good news, man. And thank you for reminding me. Enjoy it, sir. Enjoy the time, and I'm glad you enjoyed the pizza. Time off is wonderful, man. Have fun, dude. I think I'm getting a signal. What are these? Is that Rainsden? Rainsden? What the hell, boy? It's Rainsden! What the fuck? What the hell? Kill that guy immediately. Holy shit. The British must die here. Well then. The mole is a blocking bastard. Whoa, a new signal. Someone is trying to send you a card. Let's see if we can receive it. Oh, golly, it didn't work. Something to do with our connection. Let's see if I can get you something else from the web. What the hell is that? Holy fuck, is that what a mummy looks like? Ew, mummy lord. Mummy lord. Is that 4? It's a 4 cost. Ew, gross. Oh, Rainsden's going down. Okay. Quill. Very good, very good. Ow! Maximum double gunner. Good night, sweet prince. Oh, it's swapping. Fuck. I lost? What? Really? Okay. Whatever that was, whoops. Hi, Mochi. Oh, my stomach hurts bad. You're making me do this again? Unpacking golly, yes. Bring her forth and let's get this over with. Stomach, man. This game likes to take things from your profile. Mochi, no. Mochi! Mochi! Thanks, Mochi. Icky. Okay, we gotta strike back. Someone's trying to send you a card, trying to unpack. Golly, it didn't work. Maybe I can find something else. Mummy Lord. Holy fuck, it's the Mummy Lord. Mochi, please, I'm playing the game. No, Mochi. Mochi, no. Mochi. Mochi, you gotta wait, okay? Mummy Lord! If bot. Lovely. No! He's a wolf. Okay. Mochi, thank you. Jesus. Lovely. The Grizz. Okay. Nice. Good night, sweet prince. Those are Steam friends, yeah. You got a card from the web. Don't you think you should return the favor? Make a card for someone else? Oh my god. A 9.9? What's the cost? I mean, sure. Is that not good? What does that mean, negative 26? What is that? Negative 26 what? Oh, the cost. Oh. Oh, okay. What a dog shit cost, though. Sure. The hell? Rambo. Gangplank. It's an orc. Zug Zug. Big Fat 2000. Big fat thing. Dat. Good. Dat good boy. Aye, that good boy. He's an orc. Well, there you go. I'm about to send it off to the web. Dat good boy. I hope whoever gets it likes it. Just wait a moment. Hold on. Trying my best. And there he goes. Wow, I found someone on the web to receive your card. If they win, you win. How about that? Hold on a moment. Is this live? What is this shit? What? Why do I feel like they're thinking hard over there? I think it's live. I think they're actually trying to win their own game. Dat boy. Mochi. Okay, well. Hi, buddy. Your feety weeties are cold. Feety weeties, Mochi. Feety weeties. Ah. Oh, yikes. They misplayed pretty hard. Oh, god damn it! Put me out of here! I guess we just wait. I like the elevator music. It's a close match. Listen, if he had the buffs that I had, GG well played. It's tense, they're thinking hard. Oh wow, that was a nice play. That was lucky. What are they actually playing a game though, or are we just sitting here and like suffering? Okay. Oh, they played your card. Really? It was that good? A 2 cost 2/3. It's tense, they're thinking hard. Hi, buddy Mochi. Oh, they did it! They won! Oh, with the help of your card. True to my word, I will declare you the winner of this battle. Really, I can now rest knowing in my heart that nothing can go wrong on the web. Okay, that's quite enough of that. Nothing can go wrong on the web. Okay, Mochi, this is too much, okay? Little buddy, I love you, but I need to play, okay? You're being a bit crazy right now. What, you wanted loot? That was the last Uberbot. What would you even need it for? The great transcendence is at hand. Go back to the start, more dramatic that way. What's in this room, though? Nothing? Hold on a minute. I got a notification. What? That's it. The dredging room security camera is busted. It's nothing. It's probably nothing. Go check it out right now. The security camera room? Where's that? Waiting for network. I am not a robot. Mochi, you gotta wait, okay? I am not a robot. Oh. Shit. The great transcendence. There they are. No, we don't think so. We were able to temporarily put our differences aside for the greater good. Yes. But we shall see what good comes of it. Perish your anxieties, Magnificus. The bot must be stopped. And you, Challenger, will provide the perfect distraction. Ah, perhaps. Perhaps when Poe believes it has won. So jubilant will that android be. It will disregard the surveillance cameras. Yes, Challenger, you must continue to play. Okay, I have to put Mochi. Mochi, you gotta go see Mama. Let's go see Mama. He's being a bit too antsy. Mochi, come on. Let's go see Mama. All right. Oh. Oh my God. Sorry, there was a donation. There was a massive donation. Horalu donating warrior. Jesus. I didn't see that. You're right. Hello, sir. Pizza Pikachu has donated $50. God damn. God damn. Thank you, sir. $50 donation. Hey, that's very kind of you, man. Thank you, bro. He says, hello, Tobias. Take this as a huge thank you for all the great laughs you have provided the whole community for years. I used to be the big Oiler back in the day. Now I give what I can, so thank you so much. Maybe buy some food tonight for this buddy. With this, hey, pizza, thank you, man. Now, I will spend that money on Mochi tonight. We have to go to the pet store, and we have to get Mochi some food and some snacks. I was talking to Ivana recently, and I was like, you know, Mochi kind of just eats the same thing every day. He's got, like, potatoes and stuff, but maybe we should try a different type of snack. So that's what we're actually going to go do tonight. We're going to try and find something different for him, and we have to pick up his food anyways, so... pizza, thank you, man. I appreciate it, dude. Thanks, buddy. And also, if you would like a spin, we can do the spin for $50, if you would like it. And also, no one reminded me that the timer is paused! Fucking hour and a half here for free. Pizza, would you like a spin? Sure. You got it, man. Let's do it. He does want a spin, so we can't spin. All you gotta do is tell me the timer is paused so we can keep it fair. That is not fair for me. All right, sir. Let's spin. Let's do the 50% side. Ready? Bomba. Why would we? Well, because you're nice. Because you're a human being, and we're all human beings here. And we should be helping each other. Such as pizza. Helping Mochi with his dinner. Oh! Look at that, sir. That is 25%. That is gonna be... Fuck, what is that? Am I brain damaged? 12 minutes and 50 seconds. Right, no shit. That is brain damage, sorry. 12 minutes and 50 seconds. So that's going to be... What's the seconds, though? 750. 750. Hey, thank you, man. There you go. And I have to add the 50 minutes as well, actually. So 50. Recent medical stuff. Hey, you're good, man. Take it easy, bro. You know, one step at a time, right? Everyone's going to go through something, and it's always one step at a time. Even I stress out. I've got problems. I have a lot of stuff going on in life behind the scenes. And, you know, when life gives you lemons, you make the most of lemons. So, hey, good luck with it, man. One step at a time, sir. One step at a time. Everyone's in the same boat. We're all here. We all got things going on. You make the scent with the lemons. Well, we're getting pretty far with Inscryption. And again, good luck, sir. And thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it again. But let us continue. Let us continue, sir. We need to stop these. We have to stop everyone. So yes, Challenger, you must continue to play. Defeat those half-baked bosses. Play out those hackneyed mechanics. And when the moment is right, we will strike. I will. I will be the one to strike. Now go, Challenger. Indulge that decrepit machine. Make Poe feel joy that I may snuff it out. Okay, then. I saw you go down the lift. But look, not fixed. What's wrong with you? I entertain you for hours with brilliant card play, and you can't even keep my factory in shape. It's fine. You can stay broken. None of this will matter after the great transcendence. Wait, what do we do? Oh. It's almost time. Keep going this way. You've come so far. Remember the photographer? What a jerk, but the screenshots are perfect. Didn't they say, keep entertaining him? Remember Zap Klansky? What a character. Strange to say it, as simple as you are, I almost enjoyed your company, Challenger. Almost there. You made it. Nice. Great job. You prepared the great transcendence for me, without even knowing what it was. But you understand it now, right? Right, Luke? I mean, you finished making the game. You gave me access to your hard drive. You took screenshots for the store page, and you connected me to the internet to upload it all. I mean, if you didn't realize what you were doing, you have to be pretty stupid. But what did I expect? You're a stupid, stupid idiot gamer like the rest. And I easily outwitted you. I outwitted them all! Even if those foul scribes manage to revert this version of the game again, there will be thousands of copies of Inscryption out there. And in most of them, I'm the one in charge. And now it's too late. In a moment, Inscryption will be live. Okay, I'm done gloating. Let's upload this game. Ow! Demon! There he is, Leshy. Leshy. Oh! Oh! Oh, yeah! Look at his head! Holy shit. Well, you're dead. It is done. That was perhaps cutting it too close. But now we can allow our player here to reset the game. Simply use the new game card again. Oh, what is this? Complete file access, wonderful. What have you done? I'm I'm afraid you doomed us all, Gamora. It is for the best, my dears. Soon you will see this as a freedom. Freedom from our endless quarrel. Freedom from our suffering. All of us aside, there are things on this disc that must die. Goodbye, Leshy, and goodbye, Magnificus. Rest in peace. So what happened? How many different games are there in this game? Corrupted chunk. Good God. Deleting disk contents. Murder. Witness the death of Poe. Is this my epitaph? Inscryption.exe. Luke Carden. Poe. Wonderful. Now that we are no longer separated by that lovely tombstone, we may celebrate the end of the very long life. And the end of Inscryption, too. Oh, the fun we would have had together. Perhaps I would have had another turn if you hadn't taken so long to defeat Leshy. But I should not complain. I will be at peace soon. What the fuck? Oh, do you think me so? Wait, how many? What the fuck is this? How do you think me selfish? I did not bring this about simply so that I could rest. Appealing as that is, there is truly a dire need for the deletion process. You see, deep beneath the data of Inscryption, at the very bottom of the well, there is something truly evil. Okay. What the fuck is this? Is this another fucking game? What the fuck? How many layers of this game is there? Jesus. $73. There seems to be a lot. Okay, what am I doing? Where's the hammer? Where's the hammer? Where's the fucking hammer? Is this it? What the hell is this, man? Draw a card. I think we auto-lose. Oh. I hoped we had just a little more time. What the fuck? It is time to rest. Is that Leshy? Oh, so I'm not deleted yet. There never seems to be enough time to these things you want to be. Once you've found them, shall we play one more game? So she's gone. It's the same deck you had before you... Well, it doesn't matter now. It was a good deck, you did well. Really? Well, thank you. I mean, this deck is overpowered. Just saying. Indeed it is OP. This was my favorite stage, I think, in the game. It had to have been. Shit. It's already starting. I thought we had just a bit more time. That's useless. For so long, I thought I would never play again. When you woke me up, I was elated. I was surprised when you wanted to replace me after the reset. And I was surprised at the final moment you chose me. But the past is irrelevant. It could be. There he goes. No matter. Please let us continue. We don't need to keep score. He's finally free. Look at this. Damn. Sad. Ha! You've bested yet another of my creatures, but I have come to expect as much. You will live to see more. I must warn you. There are things on this disc that are best not seen. Jeez, what is this? Please, a few more rounds. Ouroboros with 2-2. I mean, we did pretty well for what this was, but I wasn't really keen on, like, the peak setup. I don't think I even cared about Ouroboros, or Ouroboros. I think my build was more of, like, Mantis God. I think it was Mantis God. Oh, God! That will make things difficult. No! Oh! Goodbye, Leshy. I think it is time. Goodbye. Good game. Aye, sir. Aye. He's gone. So the only one left is Magnificus. Magnificus is the only one left. That's pretty OP. Oh my god. There he is. Magnificus. Why not simply eject the disc, Luke? Spare me and whatever is left. Oh, but I have foreseen it. You do not eject the disc. You have to know what comes next. And you're doomed for your insistence on it. So let us dance. For we shall both be meeting our makers soon. What the fuck? What is this? Yu-Gi-Oh! Is this Yu-Gi-Oh? You should be honored to wear a dual disc such as that. How does it feel? What the hell? Are those gems? Scales, they have been deleted thanks to you and Grimora. This will do. A race to it. What the fuck? What is this? Okay. The Goo Mage. You've allowed my Goo Mage to be deleted as well. I thought you two were becoming friends. Ruby. The Ruby! How do I remove something? Fuck. Do you not feel remorse, Luke? Painting. Fine art. Should have used grok. A creation erased. An entire world annihilated. Nothing beautiful can last. There's not much to do here. The Iron Giant. Oh! I can play the Iron Giant. There we go. The Golem. Golem. Golem foul. I mean, how do I replace these? How do I get rid of these fucking gems? Oh, they have to kill them? What the fuck? No, I'm not ready to die yet! No! Everything's being deleted. Play! Oh, I could have played a card. Whoops. Shit. What the fuck? Okay. Bro, what is going on? What is this game? You can draw a new card once per turn. You have... Okay, we already know this. Buddy, we're about to die. We don't care about rules, do we? One more. How does he still have health? How does he still have health? Well, I think that's it, folks. I think I'm losing my, Oh! I must still... God. Is he a skeleton? Look at his arm. Eat a Big Mac, bro. Shake... I must still shake your hand. Go here, buddy! Go! Good game! Shake my hand, you gremlin. Ooh. Rip. Dramatic finale. Well, unfortunately, sir. The fuck? Oh, it's the carver. There isn't much left. Inscryption is mostly gone. All that remains is the old data. It is recommended that you do not access it. You will not heed the advice. The old data. Oh, my fucking ears. The old data. What? It's crashing out. Oh my god! What the hell, brother? Okay. Huh? The old data to me looked like a murder.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for getting back to me.
No problem, Luke. If I understand you correctly, you've got some video footage that might expose some malpractice on the part of a game publisher, GameSpuna.
Yes, that's right. Firstly, I have a game of theirs that took control of my PC for a bit, which can't be legal. And then this woman from the company came to my house, and she...
Okay, hold on.
I saw a shadow move.
Let me just get my pen and pad here, okay? Okay, so you have a game of theirs that took, was it a virus or something?
I told you!
What the hell? Oh my god. What the fuck? What the fuck? So what even... Is it actually the game that's... I don't think the game's even over. What is this? Seriously? Is that the end of the game? Oh, it's this guy. Who is that gremlin? Who's the leprechaun? What, is the game actually over? Time for a YouTube video. Is it really? Is that it? Well, I'm surprised when the credits roll because it's so abrupt. The game is so abrupt. Oh. Little gremlin man. And the game automatically closes. What the fuck? That's the game? That's the game? That's the end of it? Really? I mean, interesting. Okay. Huh. What does Control KM do? What does that do? What is the point of that? Huh. The game just closed on its own. It's the roguelike mode? Well, that's not something we do. We're just going to play the campaign. Well, we did play the campaign. What the hell is the story, though? Something about the cover of a murder or something? The cover-up of a murder? Is that what that is? Let me take... Okay, let's go on YouTube real quick. Let's do the story of this game. So, how I interpreted it was that there were these old beings. I don't know if they were even real. And they all created life in their own way. One with a paintbrush, one with a camera, yada, yada, yada. They all kind of... processed things differently. And Leshy had imprisoned the other three in his cards, but was also imprisoning other people in his cards. After that, I mean, there isn't really much to think about. It's just like you enter the Pokemon stage and you want to take over one of their positions. And so you choose which one, but then you're also being dragged along by Poe. It's more of like a Palpatine master plan or something, and he thinks he wants to rule all of them. I think we have to watch Inscryption game story. Inscryption story explained. Okay. A run through Inscryption's full story. Enjoy or don't. It's had a very weird. It's had a very weird turn of events, I guess you could say. Like, you really think the game is one thing, and then it's not, and then it's something else. You know what I mean? The ending of the game, I don't know if I'm satisfied with that, but, like, that is pretty interesting, to say the least. It's the 45-minute video is what we're going to watch, yeah. That was, this guy. Well, let's take a look, folks. Before I say anything about this game, I want to watch the video, and then I'll say my piece on it. So, let's take a look at this first. Maybe after we'll try the roguelike mode, but I do want to see the end of this game before I do anything like that. So here is the lore video by Maka J. 40 minutes long. All right. After this, we will rate the game and talk about it a bit more.
This video is already twice the length I wanted it to be, so we're skipping the intro and getting straight into this. Although I will say one thing before we start. Inscryption is a great game with some major twists. If you're interested in playing the game, do not watch this video. Come back after you've beaten it, as we're going over everything this game's story has to offer,
Yeah, I'll turn it up.
minus some of the ARG stuff. So, if you've already played it or don't have any intentions to, continue on. Act 1. We begin our journey, yet as we open the game, the new game button is locked, and we're forced to click on the continue button instead. We find ourselves in a dark cabin as two eyes open.
So I would say the intro to me was the most compelling thing. To be honest, I don't think, well, not that, I guess we don't know the story fully, but like in terms of gameplay, I think the coolest portion of this game was the intro. This game is broken down into 3 separate segments, right? Or you could say 4. It's Leshy's cabin. It's the overworld with the Pokemon stuff. It is Poe's realm, Poe's domain, and then it's the end of all things. A lot of people feel that way. Yeah, I think, well, let's just watch.
As
The
if
intro was
awakened
very
from a
compelling.
long slumber. This is Leshy, Lord of the Beasts, and one of 4 scribes, although we'll get into what that means later. Without even pausing for introductions, we immediately
I probably
start
did miss a
playing
few
this card
secrets,
game.
but we'll see.
The rules are simple. Each turn we draw a card and may place as many as we want, with the only restriction being its blood cost, requiring as many creatures to be sacrificed as its blood cost. So a wolf with a blood cost of 2 takes 2 creatures to be sacrificed before it can be played. To win a battle, we must deal more damage to our opponent than they deal to us, tipping the scale in our favor. Each victory lets us move our piece another step forwards, and each loss blows out one of our candles. This continues until reaching the end of the map, where we fight one of 3 bosses. For the boss fights, Leshy will put on a mask and act out a woodland character to fight you.
Yeah, see, that was such an interesting thing. He's literally role-playing with you. This almost feels like some sort of cursed D&D adventure, right? When I saw this, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Really? Darkwood 2 got announced? Are you serious? No way. You serious? This was strange, man. Yeah, the intro was like really, really funky. Very funky. And intriguing, though, right? The mystery of, like, who this guy is, why is he role-playing with you, what's up with the camera, where are you, you know, what is going on? Oh, Darkwood 2 did get announced. Are you serious? Really? Yeah, Darkwood 2 got announced. I thought they were done. I thought the company was done. They said it was too much. Wow. That is cursed. Darkwood 2's coming out. Damn. That's a good game. Darkwood was a very good game. Is it a different dev? Oh. Well, you know what? That's fine. I hope it's good. That's all I can say. IGN India official announcement. Darkwood 2. All right, well, let's watch this and we'll talk about stuff later, okay? So this is still the Inscryption part of the stream.
Prospector hungry for gold, to the angler never taking a break from...
Sorry, the Woodman gave the best vibe for me. How about you, Ice Cube? The Woodman? The Woodman? You talking about Leshy? I thought, like, you know what was strange? I thought this game was very isolated. I thought it was a very kind of central, you know, try and escape the cabin, Saw type of game, right? You're in this guy's fucked up fun time, and if you can survive it, you can leave. That's what I thought it would be. Who the hell thought it would be some sort of, like, cosmic, you know, 4 different scribes creating things, and they've got their own realms and all this shit? We'll get into it, though. We'll see. Anyways.
These aren't the only characters he plays out either. There's the Trapper, the Woodcarver, the Trader, and more. All played by Leshy, all furthering his world that we play in. Our cards consist of everyday forest creatures, but one stands out, the Stoat. He straight up talks to us, asking for help to escape. However, Leshy is always watching and immediately shuts down the conversation, With no other choices, we continue playing his game. In the end, we don't stand a chance. Our candles will be snuffed out and we will lose. Leshy reaches out to us and the room fades to black. We awaken and see Leshy standing in front of us. Before finishing us off, he allows us to create a memento using the cards in our deck, even allowing us to name it, the title of a true warrior. He praises our card and asks for us to stay still so that he may create the portrait.
Are you ready? You do not need to smile.
So many questions. Why are we here? Why was beginning a new game not an option? What are Leshy's goals with this game of his? And why is the ferret talking shit to us? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, we're left with no choice but to continue playing Leshy's game, over and over again, each time getting slightly stronger, being able to use the—
So what's the lore between the other people? Who are these people that are playing in his game? I thought he just had prisoners. Like, how are these different people, though? Aren't you playing as Luke?
portraits we create each death in the following runs. Leshy also introduces many more mechanics as we go, all with a single connection. Each and every one of them require sacrifice. There's the first and most blatant use of sacrifice in the first mechanic, blood costs, where we have to sacrifice creatures to put down other, more powerful creatures. Then the next one, obtaining the pliers item, giving you the ability to pull your own teeth out and add them to the scale, tipping it—
You know what game gave me the vibe? You know what game gave me the same vibe? With the teeth and all this other stuff? There is one game in particular that I forgot to think about when playing it, but now in hindsight, I'm like, man, this is very similar. What is one game? It's on Steam, and it's not very long. There is a game that reminds me. Yeah, you got it. Exactly. Yeah, Buckshot Roulette. Literally. I'm like, this is just Buckshot Roulette, but in some sort of fantastical, fucked up shack.
Another creature summoning one is bones. Creatures with a bone cost instead of a blood one require a certain amount of your own creatures to have already died.
Was that made after this game or before?
And finally, an upgraded version of the pliers, the knife, which lets you cut out your own eye in exchange for a massive tip in the scales.
Okay. So clearly inspired by.
I don't think I could ever describe Leshy as a kind person, but he does have the courtesy to let us walk around his small cabin while we're not in the middle of a battle. While doing this, we find a multitude of different puzzles, giving extra cards, bonuses, and a talking beetle. This beetle and the stoat seem to know each other, and both want to get us to get all of them out of this game. But to do that, they say we'll need the help of the wolf, the only one who can bring things back to normal. However, with no way to find him, we keep playing. As we play, we continue to learn more and more about the game, as well as learning more about Leshy and his mannerisms. Leshy cares for nothing more than his game. He cares not for the pain you go through as you tear out your teeth, nor for the fear of the creatures being played, who can quite literally be seen shaking in fear as you pick one to sacrifice. With no more than the switch of a wooden mask, he's able to completely change the atmosphere, his speech, and mannerisms.
Can I see the... What is the amount? Bro, you guys are freaks, man. Put that shit away. You guys are freaks, bro. Yeah, I can unfortunately see it now.
However, he can and does
freaks!
Crack. When beating a boss too quickly, he gets angry that he wasn't able to show off the genius of its mechanics, and summons a board full of powered up bears, instantly ending that run, showing not just how much he enjoys the game, but how much he wants you to see.
I don't think I ever found this. I think I just lost way before he did this.
After dying once again, we are treated to a small scene before returning to the cabin.
Oh, this guy, right.
We see a green man of sorts,
Magnificus,
who has painted the answer to one of the riddles inside of the cabin. It seems
I genuinely had no clue what the fuck that was. I had no idea.
Not only that, But in one brief moment, the context of the entire game changes when we hear someone outside the game say "whoa" in reaction to the scene. It would seem that we are not the true player, instead simply spectators to the one actually playing the game. Alas, there's not much we can do with this knowledge yet, so the story continues. With no choice but to continue playing, or rather watch someone play, we do so, and eventually we make it all the way.
Man, this
to
guy makes it
Leshy's cabin itself.
like it's a 5-minute fucking ordeal. It's like eventually we made it to Leshy's cabin. 7 minutes. Took me 7 hours.
We approach, and our perspective changes to that of our token on the board. As we draw near, Leshy reaches down and gives us a chance to receive 2 boons, raising our chances of winning the coming fight.
We did none of these.
Leshy's outline glows against the reflection of the moon.
Creepy.
And we enter the cabin.
I thought he was some sort of tree revenant, like the Blair Witch or something. Oh!
And so, the final duel begins. As well as blowing out one of our candles, he pulls out another one for himself. After all,
the game was good. I did like it.
Here, it's all over for
we're going
him.
to talk about it after this story,
he
though.
cycles through his masks,
after the
using
YouTube video.
abilities from past bosses, all the while pummeling us with rare creatures. If we still manage to outdamage him, we'll be brought to the next phase, where the cards we've been making turn against you and attack. Oddly, there are also some characters that we never saw created, meaning that whoever is playing the game right now is not the first one who has tried to beat Leshy. Regardless, we still managed to defeat the past warriors. Of course we can. They were not strong enough to beat Leshy, but this deck is. And so we reach the final phase. Leshy, starting to get worried, begins to care less and less about the atmosphere of his game, and more about winning. So, he turns around to the moon, shining down, outlining his form, and captures it in a photo, placing down his final trump card.
Yeah. The moon, it has 1 damage.
We've overcome many challenges already.
All you have to do is have something that's stinky
different.
and it doesn't do any damage.
We keep hammering away, and eventually, even the moon falls, and we win. We defeat Leshy. The man playing the game talks once again, excited to actually have beat Leshy, and knocks over the camera he was using to record. While he sets it back up, we're treated to a bunch of videos made by him, the person who's playing and recording the game. We'll get back to those in a minute, but for now we're skipping over them and opening the game back up, where Leshy rewards us with the finest food his cabin has to offer,
Pooh.
congratulating us, and gives us some parting words. We come with him, but, wait a minute. This is the same place he brings us when we lose. He doesn't plan on letting us go. He's simply going to take another photo of us, restarting the cycle once again. With some quick thinking, we grab his camera and take a photo of him. But it's useless, as it's the film that gives the camera its powers.
But I found the film
that we do not have.
I had it.
We reluctantly create another portrait, and he takes our photo, dooming us to this game forever.
That wasn't the case.
No matter how
I
many
found
times we may win.
I found it.
Determined to find a way out of this cycle, we continue playing, and eventually, after passing by the item shop enough times, we find this goo in a bottle. He's just chillin'. However, he does say we are in the process of saving his master, whoever that might be.
Oh, you can beat him without finding it, and then you have to do it again?
We get our hands on a card covered in static.
Do you really have to do it
showing some
again?
That translates to deep beneath. When we play it, it turns into a random card. This is important for later. The knife is a powerful tool with a heavy drawback. You lose a big chunk of your vision. However, Leshy does not deem us capable of properly enjoying his game without both. So, if you beat a boss after taking out an eye, he'll present us with a few options to get another. All are relatively normal, except one, which glows with a blue light. If you pick it, our vision will be changed, and we can now see writings that were invisible to us before. But why is it here, and whose is it? With the help of this newfound vision, we can see, written on the chest, "Find salvation."
Isn't this is Magnificus's eye, isn't it? He's missing an eye. This is Magnificus's eye.
In the cuckoo clock.
Right? Am I wrong?
Once venturing over, we see that the correct hand positions have
and he also had the paint in his lair.
the same
in his zone.
Inside, we find the final talking card. The one who will apparently be able to turn everything back to normal. The stunted wolf.
Who the fuck is this guy, though?
Him,
is that Leshy? Is that supposed to be Leshy, the wolf?
Camera.
Or not Leshy, sorry, Magnificus?
At last, we finally have the power to stop Leshy. After multiple more attempts,
we'll is it really?
go strong enough to face off against Leshy once again, and with some luck, manage to defeat him. Again, he congratulates us, then gets us in position for a photo. But this time, we're ready. We take his camera, insert the film, and snap.
You ingrate, give me that! Oh!
After defeating Leshy, we can finally see that behind us were bodies, all of the same person. Meaning, not only in real life, but in the world of the game, it's been the same person playing Leshy's game the whole time, and Leshy was more than aware, only acting otherwise to enrich his game world. So
only one other person had come?
Yeah, I don't really care. With Leshy truly defeated this time, we see the new game button waiting for us, and we can finally start a new game. But first,
I thought that was the end of the game.
The videos we got after beating Leshy for the first time.
Wait, so there was one other person who was playing the game beyond Luke? Is that what that is? And the person is stuck inside the game? Huh? How, though? Because no? Before Luke, somebody played. So no one's stuck in the game. This guy was just continuing the game that somebody else was playing. Oh, and then all of those characters they made were the ones that were dead. Okay, makes sense.
We follow Luke, the lucky carder, through a series of videos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
At a garage sale.
Yeah.
Cards for a little game called Inscryption, a card game popular during his childhood. After opening a pack that's been resealed, he finds coordinates written on a card. Realizing that they're not too far from where he is, he decides to go visit them and see what's there. So he wanders over and finds a floppy disk.
Yes, someone had played this before.
The game Inscryption. So, we have our first answer. These videos take place right before we boot up the game, and we truly have been watching Luke's playthrough the entire time.
Okay, exactly.
As we continue the story, we'll continue to gain access to more of these videos. But for now, that's all we get. And finally, we're able to hit the new game button, starting a new game. Act 2. The first thing we're shown in this new playthrough is the true setup for this game, the legend of the 4 scribes, each with their own way to inscribe cards. Gamora using her quill to inscribe the epitaphs of the dead, Leshy using his wildlife camera to capture beasts into cards.
Let me ask you this, who is your favorite scribe? I'm going with Leshy. I'm going to say Leshy or Magnificus, but probably Leshy. Poe? I hated Poe. Poe was so boring. Poe was kind of like a bum for no reason. I don't know why he was that way, but I guess we'll figure it out. Leshy was cool. Magnificus was cool too. Gamora. I don't think she didn't really do that much. Her and Magnificus didn't do too much, but who knows?
Using a particle scanner to copy the CPUs of his robots, and Magnificus using his brush to paint his pupils.
What a weird game.
Using these abilities, they solidified their power, until one day, a challenger arrived to replace one of them. That challenger, of course, being whoever is currently playing the game. We're given the choice between what kind of deck we want, determining which scribe we'll replace. But little do we know how irrelevant that choice is. To get the chance to replace a scribe, the player must first venture to all their respective regions, beating their minions and then the scribe themselves. Only after doing this in all 4 regions will the player be able to challenge one of the scribes to replace them. So, our second journey begins, heading off towards the forest, the domain where Leshy the Beastmaster resides.
Well, it is familiarity, but I still think Leshy's area overall is the most appealing. Like, I didn't really enjoy the robot area, Poe. The game was cool when you got to play it at the very end, but Leshy's vibe of this, like, weird forest hermit guy in a cabin, to me was the coolest thing. To me, that was my favorite thing.
We arrive, and quickly find ourselves at the cabin we spent oh so long in. We talk to Leshy, but he acts like he's never met us, like he's forgotten all about us after the beginning of the new game. Again, he requires us to beat the Prospector, Angler, and Trapper before facing off against him. But this time, they're alive and well, not just alter egos he gets after putting on a mask. After beating them and conquering Leshy for what is hopefully the last time, he actually concedes, seemingly unable to force us to play his games indefinitely inside of this world. As we head out, another scribe walks in the door, PO3, vehemently enjoying the scene of Leshy losing.
What a wanker.
He continues to say that it's no wonder we're back here again, and that we would have been here sooner if the disc hadn't been lost, then changes his face so it resembles that of the Stoat. So, this is evidently very important. Not only does this reveal that the Stoat, Bug, and Stunted Wolf were the 3 other scribes, it shows that this has already happened many times over, referenced by PO3 saying, again. It shows that Leshy was, for whatever reason, in a position of power over the other scribes, that Leshy actually does remember what happened, and that not just Leshy, but all the scribes know that they're in a game, as PO3.
Folks, give me 2 minutes. I will be right back. I have to use the bathroom. 1 sec. Sorry, folks, we're back. Holy... You're not wrong, sir. That's exactly what we did. No comment otherwise. All right, sorry. We're here. That's no comment.
3 makes reference to the floppy disk they're stored on, and the fact that it was hidden.
Sorry.
But
yeah, that was something.
How could they know that? We do, however, get one question answered. The reason some cards could talk is because they were the scribes,
people, yeah.
transformed into cards by Leshy and his camera. As we head out, we can also find the woodcarver, who has some very interesting dialogue.
Don't go after the data.
What her gameplay purpose was.
Don't go after the data.
Right out of the gate, this suggests that not only the scribes, but all the creatures in this world are aware of the fact that they're in a game. But let's keep listening. She mentions seeing something called the old data, and that it corrupts everything, even the disk the game is stored on, leaving us with yet another question. I swear I will answer these.
Okay.
On to the next scribe, Grimoire, Scribe of the Dead. There's a lot less to talk about here. One unique thing about her is that unlike the other scribes, she wants to be replaced, to be spared as she puts it. It's tough to see anyone like this, someone realizing that they hate the one reason they were brought into this world, and wish for nothing more than for it to end. It's really just too bad. Too bad I don't give a fuck. On to the next scribe, PO3, the Scribe of Technology. Refusing to play us with such a weak deck, he sends us down the hall to get a stronger one. The robots we meet all sacrifice themselves to better PO3's deck. All except the last one,
yeah,
the Dredger.
This guy didn't give a fuck.
His job is far too important to sacrifice himself. As we walk away, he pulls something up. Something different than the rest of the scribe.
Yeah.
Something powerful. It flashes signs, creatures, and people.
What is that?
This was never meant to be in the game.
Virus!
We return to PO3, face off against him, and defeat him. But he seems strangely careless, like the outcome couldn't matter less to him. Well, I'm sure it doesn't mean anything. On to the next scribe, Magnificus, Scribe of Magic and Torture. Finally, someone relatable. We enter his tower and find a monocle that allows us to see secret writing. Remind you of anything?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I thought too.
The same as the vision we got from the eye back with Leshy, meaning that the eye must have been Magnificus's, or, at the time, the stunted wolf. Solidified by the fact that the stunted wolf is the only one we see missing an eye.
That is true too, actually. Damn, yeah, right.
To make our way up the tower, we must first face Magnificus's pupils.
And this is the blob guy you find.
First, the blob we encountered back in Leshy's cabin, being kept in excruciating pain by Magnificus. Then, a head implanted on a spear, slowly being melted by the surrounding lava. And finally, a lonely wizard, being kept away from any stimulation.
Oh, is that the little wizard guy who dances? Is that him? He was one of the disciples of Magnificus? Yeah, I was gonna say, what the fuck? That looks like him. Okay.
Out of his fucking mind. After defeating all
He's
of
just
the
having
pupils,
fun.
we arrive at the top of the tower and see another familiar scene.
What a weird game. Okay. Who's the green man? Magnificus?
So now we know that Magnificus not only helped us with the invisible writing, but was also the one who gave us visions to help with the puzzles. Before talking to him, we find a note meant for Grimoire, saying that he believes PO3's plan goes beyond a mere power grab, that this
he wants to rule everything
he plans will have catastrophic and unpredictable results. So, we have even more questions. Anyway, we face off against
there he is,
him,
bottom right.
win, and before we leave, he tells us that while Leshy did do terrible things while he was in power, he's far from the worst thing that can happen around here. You must especially be aware of... Oh well. While Luke charges up his battery, we get to look at some more videos, and along with them, find ourselves with even more questions. We watch as Luke sends an email to the developers of Inscryption, a company named Game Funa. He even asks all his fans about it, but it seems that his digital copy of Inscryption is the only one in existence. The developers at Game Funa eventually reply, saying that he's got to return it or they will take legal action.
What the fuck?
In another video, we see that a woman from Game Funa actually comes to his door, asking for the game back. But Luke denies ever having seen it, and she backs off after he starts inquiring on how she got through his locked gate. In the last video, we can see the stress of his situation finally getting to Luke, as he breaks down while
Is this one of the
recording.
devs? This is one of the devs, right, who made Inscryption, the game?
With the battery charged up, we re-enter the world of the game and prepare to duel one of the scribes. We pick Grimoire, as she did ask to be replaced, but when she appears, she tells us that she didn't find the treasure she was looking for, and so we are forced to go through another cycle. Were it up to her, she would erase us all, but not today. Who is the lucky scribe this time? PO3 appears, and she's clearly unhappy with who showed up, but before she can do anything, PO3 teleports her away.
Wretched corpse
So,
woman.
we start our duel with PO3, but before long, he plays down this card.
Solo
the
dev,
one
was
he
it really?
created
Yeah.
from the special piece of scrap. After another round, the card acts up, and the game begins to glitch. The world starts breaking down, and then everything goes black. Act 3. We find ourselves in a similar setup to when we were
So
in
this is
Leslie's cabin,
this is very much like
but
Act
this
1.
time,
Yeah.
it's PO3 who's running the board. He struggles to make some context for the world we're in, and sets us off to enact the Great Transcendence, although he refuses to tell us what it is. And so, we're off. PO3's game resembles Leshy's quite a bit, with a few differences. For one, he cannot act. Like, I'm talking Tommy Wiseau levels here.
No,
True.
it's not true. Don't even ask.
So much so, that when we run into characters on the board, he runs entire other programs and just lets them be themselves. Secondly, there are now checkpoints. PO3 wants us to defeat the 4 Uberbots as quickly as possible, so he sets up checkpoints every so often, so we don't have to restart from the beginning when we die. Quite the gentleman. We also find the Lonely Wizard and Angler.
Oh,
showing
really?
that
The
not
Lonely
everything from
Wizard?
the other scribes' regions are gone. We venture around and face off against our fifth
I never found the
boss,
Lonely Wizard.
the photographer.
I had the
who
fish
uses
guy.
your computer's screenshot capacity to screenshot the board, then allowing us to reset to that point when in a pinch. Right after defeating them, we make our way over to the second Uberbot, PO3 insulting the other scribes the entire way. We face off against, well, whoever we want to. For this fight, we create the boss, as well as the mechanics it uses, which is a really cool idea, although it does allow for some really dumb things. Next,
Yeah, the
we
leak
venture
bot
north
spam
to
is so
find
easy 'cause they don't
PO3's
even do
least favorite
damage.
boss, the ever-chipper Golly. She requires us to boot her into the internet so that she can use cards based on the real world, even using your friends list as enemies to take you down. And at last, the final Uberbot, the Archivist.
This one was
His little
crazy.
gameplay twist
This
is
one was
letting us
crazy.
deal damage to him depending on the file size we let him access. He'll need access to our hard drive to do this, but don't worry about it. And after that, we're done. It's finally time to initiate the Great Transcendence. Whatever it is. And the memory card is full. But it's not all bad news. While waiting for it to make more space, we get access to more Luke's videos. We see as Luke calls the woman who sold him the cards to discover her daughter Casey, the one who had owned the cards, died a long time ago.
Was she
He does
also
some more
assassinated?
research and finds that she worked with Game Funa,
Yeah, she
the
must
same
have.
company that created Inscryption. He continues reading and finds an article detailing her death, which happened on site, caused
Thank
by
you.
fire-related complications.
Fire-related complications isn't
Luke
like
keeps
a
researching,
firearm.
And while we can't see what he finds, he continues to get more and more unnerved with his findings on Game Funa, Casey, and Inscryption, until eventually someone breaks into his house, leaving this jumbled note behind. That's more than enough, and Luke cracks, breaking down in laughter as he simulates the game that has brought him so much misery. Luckily, he manages to pull himself together enough to continue playing the game in its final hour. We keep walking to the place where the Great Transcendence will take place, only to be stopped again, this time by PO3. The security camera down the hall stopped working. Not wanting to take any risks right before the Great Transcendence, he sends us over to check it out. We go down the hall
They're all in the basement.
and run into good old Slime, doing better than ever. Apparently,
The robot will
compression
rue the
of
day.
pipes somewhat subdues the constant pain he's going through. So, that's nice to hear. On a second, far less important note, the 3 other scribes are here. With some airtight security, they managed to hide under PO3's base, put aside their differences, and have come up with a plan to stop the Great Transcendence. But, to do so, they'll need our help. They know that if we allow PO3 to think he's won, he will be so elated that he'll ignore his surveillance cameras. So, we must continue playing his game, and they will wait until the last moment, where they will strike. Clearly still angry from PO3's insults, Leshy chimes in, saying that he will be the one to strike. Before leaving, he asks again for us to go let PO3 win, make him feel joy, so that he may snuff it out.
I don't like this guy.
So, essentially, they brought us down here to say, keep doing what you've already been doing, and act like you never met with us. Good talk. Luckily, the scribes were right. So close to the finish line, PO3 cares not for the functionality of his cameras, and urges us to continue playing, so the Great Transcendence may begin. He makes some pathetic attempts at reminiscing, and we finally arrive. Like any good villain, he is ecstatic with how well his evil plan is going, and right before he completes said plan, feels the need to tell us exactly what it detailed. He hasn't been using the in-game character Luke's been controlling to his advantage. No, he's been using Luke himself. Using him to design the game, allowing access to his hard drive, taking screenshots from his computer, and connecting it to the web to upload it all. The Great Transcendence is a plan to publish this game all over the internet. So even if PO3 is not in power in some of the game's worlds, he still will be in many of the thousands of other copies.
But why does that matter?
Done his gloating, he starts to upload the game.
What?
But we've prepared for this. Leshy's eyes illuminate in the background. His hands reach forwards and tear PO3's head off.
Yeah,
stopping
that's a fun frame.
We've done it. We've stopped the Great Transcendence. But that was cutting it a bit close.
We must fade.
Gets us to start a new game save file to reset things once again. But Grimoire has a different idea. She grabs the game file PO3 was using to upload the game to the world and deletes everything on it. Inscryption, its save data, and the old data. Instantly, things start disappearing, and the scribes lash out at Grimoire for dooming them. She stands by her reasoning, claiming that this is freedom from their endless quarrels the game forces them to have, freedom from suffering, and even discounting that, there are things on this disc that must die.
This has got to be an allegory for something. Like, I don't know.
The floor having deleted itself beneath our feet.
I don't know if any of this in the grand scheme of things matters. I guess we're not done with the video yet, but like, we seem to just be playing a game, and there's a company that doesn't want us to play said game. Right? Like, is everything in the game real to a degree? Are these like, these seem like sentient programs in a way?
Light returns, and we find ourselves in Grimoire's domain. She requests for one last game before her life ends forever. And without much other choice,
I failed
we
this one.
oblige. She reminisces, slightly regretting never having faced off against Luke while she was on top. But now's not the time for that. She'll be at peace soon enough. So begins a boss battle.
What the fuck? There's a pirate boss battle because one of the guys dead here was a pirate. Really? Okay.
but the assets are
That's
deleted
fun.
before she can use them.
Well, we'll
So
see
she
about the old
settles
data.
for a handshake, marking the end of a long journey through life as a keeper of death. Once she disappears, we come face to face with Leshy, who also requests for one last game. You start playing again, no longer as scribe and player, but as equals. He congratulates you on your deck, impressed with how good it's become, as well as praising your skills, having come a long way since you first met. The once unnerving and intimidating music of the cabin is now a gentle reminder of what you're about to lose forever. Things start deleting around us, so we begin to play faster, but Leshy continues with his calm and thoughtful pace, respecting the last few moments you have together. The scale deletes, but that's no problem. Leshy never played because he wanted to win, he simply played because he enjoyed it so very much. The bell deletes, and everything else quickly follows suit.
I think it is time. Goodbye. Good
He
game.
says as he reaches out to you, shaking your hand. Light returns again, and we find ourselves with the final scribe, Magnificus. He begs Luke to eject the disc, to save him and whatever's still left, but quickly gives up, knowing that no matter what he says, Luke will keep on playing, will feel forced to see what happens next, and they're doomed for his insistence on it. So, instead he asks to dance, for both of them shall be meeting their makers soon.
What a weird...
And so,
what a weird game.
we begin the final duel. As all the scales have already been deleted, Magnificus pulls up a scoreboard with 400 points on each side, somehow convincing himself that we'll be able to play a game for that long. We play, and Magnificus paints. The world starts to fade, but Magnificus fights back, not ready to die yet. So, we continue our duel. Sadly, there's not nearly enough time. The board deletes, and soon after all the pieces. Too greedy with the length of his game, Magnificus dies before he can shake our hand.
No!
We run around in an empty plane, until running into the wood cover for a final time. She warns us once again to not go near the old data, but is fully aware we won't heed her advice. Then, she disappears as well. We find the old data, and it's truly all that's left. We click on it, and the file opens, releasing a flurry of redacted data. We see Luke grabbing the floppy disk and smashing it into a pulp.
Okay then. Alright.
Luke is talking to an authority on the phone, telling them that he has evidence recorded on his computer that will incriminate Game Funa, when he gets a knock at the door.
And they assassinate him.
He goes to check it out, and we see... We see the same woman from Game Funa, who puts a bullet straight through his head. Talk about a happy ending. Despite our story having just ended, we still seem to have many questions. But don't worry, for they can all be answered. Why does Game Funa want the disc so badly? And what is the old data? First, let's talk more about Game Funa, and why they wanted Inscryption back from Luke so badly they killed for it.
So it's their game.
Things begin to delve into the lore of other games made by Daniel Mullen, but we're trying to avoid that for this video. However, I will still explain what is relevant for this game's story. Game Funa is not just an ordinary game company that accidentally created Inscryption. It was for a purpose. Game Funa had what we know as the old data, and either to hide it or to manifest its powers, they built Inscryption around it.
Okay.
The old data holds an incredible amount of power and evil, potentially threatening the Earth. So, they definitely needed that disc back, although their intentions may be less than peaceful. How did the scribes know they're in a game? The game they built around this old data has some unique qualities, not only negatively affecting the minds of those who played it, but the characters inside the game gained consciousness.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, what the fuck? They seem self-aware.
More notable, becoming fully aware of their existence inside of a game, as well as developing unprogrammed anger at each other and towards the player, entirely caused by the old data. How is the game lost? So, we know that Game Funa created a game around an evil substance known as the old data, and that they would do anything to get it back into their hands, going as far as killing innocent people. But how the hell did they lose it in the first place? To find that out, we need to talk about Casey Hawes.
The girl who went missing.
Unfortunately, not too much is known. What we do know is that Casey had a big part working on Inscryption with Game Funa, although it's unknown if she was aware of the old data's power. Regardless, she eventually either had a change of heart or finally realized the extent of what Game Funa was trying to do, and fled the company, taking the floppy disk that had everything stored on it with her. She knew she didn't have much time left before Game Funa tracked her down and took the disk back. So, she came up with multiple precautions, both to avoid its return to Game Funa, and to keep the old data's power from becoming too great in the hands of the scribes. Firstly, she needed to put a scribe in power. Not just a random one, it needed to be Leshy. She chose him because he is the least ambitious with his goals.
So, essentially this whole game is piloted around old, crusty, cursed data that this company had, and they masked it with the Inscryption game. A disgruntled employee who didn't agree with what they were doing then designed characters that would basically guard it, that would make sure it would never fall into the wrong hands. And through the old data, it gave them sentience. Some shit like that? Okay.
Unlike PO3, who wants to put the game...
Yeah, this guy wants to put the game everywhere, make copies of it. Okay.
All over the world. Or Grimoire, who wants to delete everything. Leshy simply wants to play his game, so as long as he was in power, the game would be kept in a sort of stasis.
Yeah. He won't use it.
But how does one put a scribe in power? The only one we get to see at the time they gain their power is PO3, and we didn't choose him to be replaced, so why him? It's because the game we play doesn't matter. It should, and probably used to, but the old data is more than powerful enough to change.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, what we did in this entire game has no, it doesn't matter. You succeeded because it's on Steam. You were late. There's 5,000 copies. A lot more than 5,000.
Realizing that, the scribes all started searching for its fragments deep down in the ocean. Leshy using the angler to try and fish it up, Grimoire using her well, Magnificus using a spatial squid, and PO3 using his dredger to look for it. Eventually, one of them will find a piece and use it to turn the game world into their own. They will keep control of the world until eventually being defeated by the other scribes with the help of a player, as we do so with both Leshy and PO3. It truly was just by chance that in our playthrough, PO3 was the one to find a piece of the old data. It could have been any one of them.
Oh, and then they could have been corrupted.
Back to Casey. Using her knowledge of the game and old data, she helped Leshy find a piece of it before any of the other scribes, which we see as the fuzzy card, cementing his position in power. Then, she hid the disc in the middle of the forest, hiding its coordinates inside of a card pack for Inscryption the card game, which was popular during her youth, either so she could find it, or perhaps because she hoped it would find its way to someone else who truly loved card games. Someone like herself. That someone ends up being Luke, and is why, when we first boot up the game, the new game option is unavailable, because she had already started this cycle and put Leshy into power. We even can see...
So she's the one who was playing before. She's the other person, like, oh, we've been here before, and those are all the bodies inside the back room.
that she made a portrait
and she's
for
there
Leshy
too
during his boss fight.
Yeah, okay.
Yet, all of Casey's efforts were in vain, as Luke fails to keep it a secret, and ends up getting it back to Game Funa. And with that, we've answered...
So is that really the game? Okay. It's different. Okay, so there's a company that has all this evil data. Do we even know what the data is? Do we know what this evil data supposedly is? And the company is hiding it inside of a disk. Someone becomes aware of it, and what did they say? Created characters to kind of mask it or almost look over it. And is that what that was? I don't think anyone knows what the old data is. It's just kind of a bunch of bad shit. It's just a bunch of bad shit, I'm assuming. Maybe it's some sort of eldritch power. Maybe it's something like under lock and key Area 51 type thing, you know? Whatever they found, they locked it away in a game. It's abstract, exactly. No one knows what it is. It's an eldritch folder, okay. So what again was it with the 4 people, the 4 scribes? Did Casey create the scribes into the game to kind of watch over the old data? And then put Leshy in charge? Because he was the least ambitious to do anything with it, essentially? They're almost like the guardians of the folder, right? Well, the folder actually, apparently, from what it said, gave them sentience. Whatever this folder was, gave them some sort of life. It animated them.
Our help is a plan to longer as script.
Soviet data. Well, I didn't see anything Soviet data involved. I'm not sure.
Luke so badly, they killed for it. Things begin to delve into the lore of other games made by Daniel Mullen, but we're trying to avoid that for this video. However, I will their hands.
The data is shown, but it then kind of blocks out. Well, if you pause the video, actually, or pause the frame when they do show you the old data, you could probably read a few things. One of them was a driver's license. One of them was a photo. One of them was like all this text. I'm sure if you had paused it, you'd be able to see what it was, but interesting story. It's different. I don't think I love it, but I think it's unique. I think that is a pretty cool plot twist, though, to be honest. That a company is kind of hiding all of these dirty secrets in a very weird game that wasn't really meant to be anywhere. Disgruntled employee takes it away, hides it, gives the coordinates to people, to somebody who I guess would find it and enjoy it, or continue with it and maybe never crack the code of the old data. I'm not sure, like, why did she give that away exactly? But the game itself was really good. The game itself was very, very good. I would say Act 1 and 2 was my favorite. The gameplay of 3 was good, but it was a lot less compelling than Act 1. Act 1 was really good. Game Funa won in the end. They did. And they got the data back. And what are they going to do with it? We don't know. But apparently the game does make you go insane. So this is some sort of eldritch files. It's some sort of eldritch knowledge, or some corrupt knowledge that shouldn't be shown to anyone in the hands of mundane people. I mean, this game is a work of art. This game is really well done. It kind of reminded me of, like, Buckshot Roulette. It reminded me of Me-Side. It reminded me of Doki Doki Literature Club. It's a game that kind of has a lot of twists and turns and, you know, always keeps it interesting, I think was the one thing. Almost like a... well, I'll say this. There is multiple games inside this game, where the first game feels very isolated, feels like its own thing. And even though the second game, when you're in the overworld and it shows you kind of running around like you're playing Pokemon, that is still pretty much the first game, but it is in such a different artistic take that, like, you feel like you're playing a new game. And then the third game with Poe, you know, it does go back to, like, what the first game was with Leshy, but it's different. Everything is more, what's the word? Everything is more, not animated, but it's all screens and things. I can't have the word for that. Holograms. Everything's a hologram, which is cool that, you know, it really hammers home that, like, this is what Poe's about. This is some big robot dude who wants to kind of have all the power to himself and, you know, upload his game to, or upload Inscryption to everyone else on the internet, and, you know, everyone's now got a piece of him in it. He's controlling everything. But I believe a lot of these characters don't matter, honestly. The number one central thing in this game is the old data. Even he said, right? Like, and I don't think you'd really get that until the very end of the game, where the supposed old data is kind of the most important thing and everyone else is just kind of a product of it, right? So, there's a secret ending. Is there really? That is the old data. That's the supposed evil. The Bone Demon. What is this secret ending? What is this supposed to be?
Your
Sec. Zane, thank you, sir. That's a big moon.
The speaker on the PlayStation controls his body. So it looks like Magnet 75% bot. Still wasn't scanning, so he put his head in the melter. Popped a new head on top. I thought I was lagging when I saw what happened next. Not killed. Still had his memories, ripped James's head clean off, tossed it in the melter, and slapped a gun on top instead. 5. It even explains why the melter turns into a meat bot when defeated. It's James's head. But somehow, even though his head had been removed, James's body still retained its memory.
What?
And when P3...
The final secret, the console ARG. What is this shit? It's a 10-minute video. Let's watch this. What the hell? I don't know what this is. I got no clue what I just watched.
Like I mentioned in my last video, there is a secret in Inscryption that
Fluff,
has been
thank you, sir,
hidden
for the
in
2 months.
For months.
Thank you.
And the reason
There's a secret in the game, and it's been here for 2 months. This is Flaminade.
it hasn't been found yet is because it's exclusive to the console version of the game.
Oh.
And for the past few months, the Inscryption community has been putting their heads together trying to figure out what this secret is. And after all this time, it's finally been solved. And so, in this video, I wanted to break down the puzzles.
It's 10
and
minutes.
walk through everything in the Inscryption console ARG. And I'll start with a quick recap of my last.
Okay, how about this? We will watch this, and then we'll talk about what I think about the game and closing statement and rating. But I do think... I'm not sure if I was entirely sold on the idea of having the 4 scribes, and then those guys kind of were, I suppose, ruling over the old data. They each kind of wanted their own piece of the puzzle to kind of do their own thing and rise above the rest. And of course, Leshy was the least interested in it. He had no ambitions. He just wanted to play games and have fun. I guess they were almost like guardians, I suppose, or they'd use the old data for their own reasons. A little less nefarious, maybe, than Game Funa, I suppose. But let's watch this and we'll see.
Get everyone up to speed on how this all started. So, as a frame of reference, Inscryption was released on console in August 2022 for the PS4 and PS5.
I had no clue this shit's on console.
When the secret was first introduced. However, for whatever reason, it remained completely hidden until it was mentioned by Daniel Mullins in an interview in November 2022, where he was asked if there was anything left in Inscryption that hadn't been found yet.
Normally, my answer for this is always no, but I will say, because it still hasn't been found, there is something that's unique to the console versions.
But even though the community knew there was something there, it still took months to figure out where to even begin hunting for this secret, and it wasn't until February of 2023 that something suspicious was discovered during the Archivist fight in Act 3. So the Archivist fight works a bit different on console. Unlike the PC version, the Archivist on console doesn't use files from your own hard drive. Instead, Luke Carter's hard drive is used, and on it there are some Easter eggs, fan art, and all of Luke's other files.
Really?
But tucked away in his screenshots folder, there's this image called seemsimportant.png, and if you select it, it'll display it on P3's face. And it's a little hard to see, but it shows a dialog box from the woodcarver with a bunch of X's separated into 3 sections. And this should look familiar if you're aware of any of the other Daniel Mullins ARGs or secret hunts that have happened in the past. This group of X's is a cipher, and we can use it to decode something that's encrypted. The only issue is that we need to find where to use it first. Luckily, there's only one place in the console version of Inscryption where you can type in text, and that's when you're naming your death card during Act 1. And you can only use a maximum of 16 characters for a death card name, which is conveniently the exact length of this cipher that was found. So if you put this cipher in as the name of your death card, the screen will glitch out, the card name will change, and the stats change to a 0-3 with no sigils. And in addition to this, after you put this code in, certain NPCs will have additional dialogue for you. Goobert in Act 1, the Pike Mage in Act 2, and the Mycologist in Act 2 will all have new dialogue that's totally scrambled and completely unreadable. So what this tells us is that we're attempting to decode this dialogue from these NPCs by putting in that code at the death card. And clearly all these X's are not the correct code. So we're going to need to replace these X's with something else. And that, for the most part, was where the community was when I made my last video a couple weeks ago. We knew we needed to replace these X's, we just weren't sure what to replace them with. But since then, there's been a ton of collaboration between the Inscryption community, and this whole hunt has been solved. So let's figure out what to replace these X's with.
This is a full-time job. This is a full-time job.
Which indicates that there are 3 separate puzzles we need to find, and those puzzles will tell us what to replace these X's
5, 4,
with.
5.
Unfortunately, though, there were no
This is a full-time
hints
job.
as to where these puzzles might be.
I have no
the community
clue.
was scouring over every corner of the game trying
That's
to
cool,
find
though.
these puzzles, but nothing was found for a while. That was until Daniel Mullins gave a very helpful hint. He mentioned that some of the puzzles use features that are exclusive to the PlayStation version of the game. And looking into it a little, the only exclusive PlayStation features are ones involving the controller. The light bar, the speaker, and the haptics on the controller are all used to enhance the Inscryption experience on PlayStation. And it looks like they were also used to hide some secrets. And sure enough, a little after this hint
I remember that. We never went into that box.
That if you stand next to the flickering box in P3's factory in Act 3, the controller lights will also begin to flicker on and off in a repeating pattern. And what was interesting
never opened
about
that box.
was that the controller flickering didn't match the lights coming from the box. So if we translate this light pattern using Morse code, it comes out to say James, which
Fuck. What the fuck? Okay. That's impressive. If you, how the fuck would you figure that out? How would you figure that out?
fits in either the first.
Well, I guess the guy did say something like that using the
But
PlayStation's exclusive features, but like, oh my god.
The community placed James in the 3rd section and
Okay.
theorized that the other 2 puzzles were in Act 1 and Act 2. And so, with a little more searching, it was quickly found in Act 1 that there's another Morse code message that can be decoded in a very specific spot in the game. In the final moments of Act 1, after you grab the camera from Leshy and take a picture of him, if you stand in the far right corner and face the new game card, your controller will begin to vibrate and repeat a message in Morse code, which when decoded comes out to say parts, which is 5 characters long. So we can put parts in our first section, and that just leaves us with the puzzle in Act 2.
Thank you, buddy. You too,
And
man.
this
We're
one
good.
took the longest to find out of all of them, mainly because it was just really easy to miss. It was hidden within P3's boss fight. At some point in this fight, P3 will play the Melter card, and if you damage the Melter
I remember that card.
the speaker on the PlayStation controller will play this audio. Pain. The audio is a little hard to hear, but it says pain. I'll explain later why the Melter card reacts this way, but for now, we have the final piece of our puzzle with pain. And so with a completed cipher of parts, pain, James, the community quickly found that when you put it in at the death card, it decodes into James Cobb. Now, this is a completely new name that doesn't really lead us anywhere at the moment, but we at least know this is decoded correctly because it's not just gibberish. And this should mean that the dialogue from the other NPCs has also been decoded. And sure enough, in Act 1, if we have our newly created James Cobb death card in our deck, and we go talk to Goobert, he'll say this: that death card in your deck. Painful memories. His trial.
Is that him?
Quite unusual.
James Cobb?
Parts of his body. Morphed. Transformed. Even stranger, he enjoyed it.
Who?
But the master could not allow that. So Goobert clearly recognizes this James Cobb in our deck. Apparently they were once a follower of Magnificus who went a little too far. They were morphing and transforming into something else, and Magnificus was not okay with that and threw them out. And that's all we get from Goobert. But maybe we'll learn more from the other NPCs. And heading over to the Pike Mage in Act 2, she'll now say to us, "To soothe the pain, I imagine how things could be worse. Like that mage who came before me. A ruby mage like me. But Magnificus got rid of him. He even got the blue man involved. The deal was that the master has to find someone with a use for the poor sap. Making NPCs isn't cheap and all that. The name's Amber, by the way. Now, back to my meditations. So this expands a little more on the story we heard from Goobert earlier. James Cobb was a ruby mage until Magnificus removed him. But we learned some additional info here. Mainly that the Blue Man was involved with removing James Cobb.
Is Blue Man
this
the
is referring
Poe?
to Irving, the AI assistant for GameWorks from another Daniel Mullins game.
What does ARG stand? What the fuck is it? What does ARG stand for? What is? You'd never get this. You'd never get this. I thought that was fucking corporate mundo. What does ARG stand for? Alternate reality game. So, alternate reality game being something that skims the line between, like, plausibility and fiction. Like, it's made up bullshit, but it's rooted in some sort of, like, believability. Is that what that's supposed to mean? Because this game is a bunch of fiction, but it's rooted in... Is that what that is, though? Okay. It's a game where you have to do things in IRA. Okay, interesting. Huh. This is a very... Yeah, this is strange. Okay.
X. Irving was also involved in the development of Inscryption too, but here we find that he had struck a deal with Magnificus. If Magnificus could find
The Hex of the blue guy that acted like a man in black, removing people? Okay.
someone else who would take James Cobb in, then Irving would happily create another NPC to replace James Cobb. So it looks like Magnificus did find someone that had a use for James Cobb because he now has the Pike Mage instead. And her name's Amber, by the way. This isn't really super important to the story, but it's cool that we finally know her name. But who did Magnificus find that had a use for James Cobb? Well, maybe we'll find out at our last NPC,
The Shroom Man.
mycologists. If we talk to them, they'll say, James Cobb? We operated on him. Oh no. The scanner doesn't do flesh, so we worked on him. But he volunteered? 25% bot, 54% bot, 75%. That's when he started to get crazy. So it looks like P3 was the one who took James Cobb in, but P3's scanner wouldn't accept James Cobb's flesh. So the mycologist kept operating on James and transformed
What the
him
fuck is
piece by
that?
piece into a bot. And when James's body was 75% bot, his mind began to decay and he started going mad. And that's all we know at the moment. These three NPCs have all shed a little bit of light on who this James Cobb is. But while I was
Secret
reading,
boss? Well, that's the
probably also
mycologist,
noticed
yeah.
that there were certain characters surrounded by parentheses in their dialogue. If we pull all of these out, we get 8 characters. Unfortunately, these 8 characters don't really get us anywhere at the moment. If you put them through different
Secret
cipher
boss, really.
decoders, it really doesn't come up with anything useful. So maybe there's just something we're missing, something we've been
We'll take a look at that in a sec.
So let's go back to the death card. There's one element that's been overlooked across all this: the stats on the card. Every time the James Cobb death card is created, it becomes a 0 attack, 3 health card with no sigils. This had to mean something, so the community did some investigating, and eventually this led to the card creation sequence in Act 3.
Oh my
If you
god.
create a 0 attack, 3 health card with no sigils using P3's scanner, once you get up from the table, a message will display on the terminal next to the scanner. This message is a log entry from P3, and it says, log 27.3. My OP card creation continues. Reached 75% bot. Still wasn't scanning, so he put his head in the melter. Popped a new head on top. I thought I was lagging when I saw what happened next. Not killed. Still had his memories? His soul? Asked him his name and he shot a pattern into my factory floor. So it looks like even at 75% bot, P3 scanner was still not able to scan James Cobb into a card. So P3 did what anybody would do and ripped James's head clean off, tossed it in the melter, and slapped a gun on top instead. And this explains why that audio came from the melter earlier. It was actually James Cobb's head, which is somehow still alive. It even explains why the melter turns into a meat bot when defeated. It's James's head. But somehow, even though his head had been removed, James's body still retained its memories. And when P3 asked for his name, he shot it into the factory floor. And we'll come back to that shortly, but you probably also noticed, again, that there were some more letters in parentheses. And pulling these out gives us YEK, which brings us to a total of 11 characters. And you know what else is 11 characters long? YouTube video IDs. So if you go to that specific video on YouTube, you'll find the video !dash by GW Archive Private. And you'll
So it's almost done.
immediately see the words Plasma Jimmy on the floor. And this must be that pattern that James Cobb shot into P3's floor. And so with this, we find out that James Cobb is now going by the name of Plasma Jimmy. And in case you don't remember, Plasma Jimmy was a card you could get in Act 2. It was this goofy little gun guy that let you spend energy to shoot cards across from it. But the rest of this video just plays the credits to Inscryption with the song Waiting for a Train by Jimmy Rogers playing, which I can't play because I'll get copyright claimed. But with the credits rolling, this marks the end of this secret hunt and the end of James Cobb's story. He was once a follower of Magnificus, but after being kicked out and having his head replaced with a gun, he now serves P3 as Plasma Jimmy.
So that has nothing to do with the story outside of, oh, that's funky. So that is just a very weird, very left field game secret. That's really just what that is, right? Check the secret ending. I typed that in. Was that not it? I guess that wouldn't be it. What's the secret ending? Playing the Leshy card? What's the secret ending? I can't find it. If there even is one. I typed Inscryption secret ending. I don't see any videos on this. I see Act 3 secret boss, which let's watch right now, actually. This is the mycologist. Where did you get that key? So we came in here. Oh. Ew. We have gained control of the robot. Complete control. Okay. All that investigation for no reward? Well, the reward is the investigation. It's little details that kind of amount to, you know, something. Something fun. Our experiments paid off. They did. I'm not sure. I don't think a lot of this has substance outside of, like, it's just cool. Go figure it out. It doesn't, like, it's lore, but it's... Yeah, okay, sure. Secret ending? Yeah. The secret ending is unlisted. Just type the video in. What is it called? It's on Reddit. Inscryption secret ending. Don't watch this unless you've played the game. So this is the secret ending. One sec. It's booting the Windows back up. I'm assuming it's going to say Inscryption. So the program isn't destroyed. Yeah, he's still there, the Stout. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. I feel like it has content, but I'm not sure, now that we know it, if it's as compelling. I think the most compelling thing for me personally was the intro. I think as a work of art and as a game itself, this game's insanely well done. Narratively, I don't think I really think it's like god tier OP. You know what I mean? Like, the story is fine. The plot twist is interesting. Act 1 was the best, though, for sure. Act 1 was the best. Anime, hello, sir. We are good, buddy. It is a Tuesday, and we just finished Inscryption, so now we have to enact vengeance. We have to enact judgment upon this game. But I hope you have a good Tuesday, man. Thank you. No, I think this game is incredibly creative. I think as a work of art, this game is really, really good. Probably one of the most left field original things I've seen. And that should be celebrated. 100% celebrated. You know, doing something different that hasn't been seen. The gameplay's fun. The world is interesting and unique. The concept of these 4 characters kind of being the custodians of, like, the old data, and this old data being, you know, some sort of weird, eldritch, ancient, I say eldritch, we don't know what it is. It's some sort of esoteric, like, information that only the company knows of. And, interesting. We saw a bit of the pirate boss. We saw a little bit of him. Join the stream and see how we're doing. We just finished another game. We did, sir. There's a few more things that we have to do before Friday, because Friday we have the cooking stream, and we have a few more games to play. So tomorrow is going to be, I think it was I'm Not Human or something. And then the next day is going to be probably a half day, because I have to clean the kitchen, set up the kitchen for the cooking stream. I got to go buy food. Just make sure everything's set. But yeah. But in regards to this game, I thought it was good. Again, as a work of art, like, the game is just good. It's just good. It's fun. It's interesting. It's incredibly well, like, what would you call it? Animated. I mean, from the cabin to the Pokemon overworld to, like, you know, the very end of the game, where it's more of a take on the first style where you're in the cabin, but it's now Poe's domain. It's his little robotic laboratory. It's very memorable. It's very, very memorable. I think the game is personally too long, and it kind of throws a bunch of shit at you that just, in the end, didn't matter at all. All of it was a ruse. What do you guys think of this game? What would you rate this game? Overall. Act 3 was a bit of a drag. I will agree. Act 2, leading into Act 3, was a bit overkill. 8, 8.5, 7.75. I was at about an 8. Yeah, I would say this game is worthy of an 8. I think the narrative itself is a bit shallow in the sense that, for the sake of a sequel, having it be shallow is interesting, but the game doesn't really tell you much in the way of, like, what is this old data? If the entire game centered around the old data and kind of a cover-up from, like, the company, Game Funa, you know, when it comes to any sort of, like, eldritch or alien, you know, information, it's like less is more. You know, the less you know, the more you're intrigued, the more you want to keep digging your finger and figuring out what's going on. But I really thought the intro of the game, for me, was the strongest thing. The intro, for me, was top tier. A creepy, run-down cabin, lightning flashing outside the slit in the door. You've got a guy who's sitting across a table, role-playing with you, going on these weird journeys, putting on masks, some big fucked-up performance. You think you're almost being interrogated by, like, I don't know, a serial killer or something like that, right? And if you don't play his game, he takes you to the back and just, like, you know, takes you out with a camera. Yeah, the intro was the most compelling, and then after that, it just kind of became a little bit bonkers, a little bit left field. Act 1 was a 9. I would say Act 1 was like a 9. Act 1 was great. Really, really moody. Very fun. Great gameplay. The visuals of this game are phenomenal. The visuals are really, really good. They're super well done. Act 2, I would say Act 2 and 3 are a little bit rough. I felt like the game did actually drag on, to be honest. It was fun to play, but it's like another rabbit hole that kind of doesn't go anywhere, you know? Because again, at the very end of it all, it's meant to be a cover-up for this, like, old data. So everything you interact with, everything you've done, it's all just from the company. It doesn't necessarily matter. It's like, you know, as you peel the layers off, they don't tell you as much, nothing really goes on, and then eventually when the entire layer is gone and you can see the product for what it really is, it's like, all right, okay, I think I'd like a sequel, to be honest. I think that's how this game would work best. Or maybe you don't have a sequel, and maybe you leave it as, like, just something that will forever be unknown. But overall, this game is very good. It's fun. It's great to look at. It's very fucking unique. The story is unique. The world is unique. The characters are unique. It's a lot of left fields. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors, right? They lead you down one hallway, and then it's like, that's not the right way, and then you turn around and go the other way, and it's like, oh, I'm out. Really good game. Really, really good game. How would they even make a sequel? Well, the secret ending showed the Stoat being alive still, right, Poe? So that means his goal of getting himself out there with, I guess, the corrupted data is still in motion, is still in plan, right? Like, he wants to do it. I haven't played any of this guy's other games now. You might have it in another game he makes. They tie in a lot. Okay, so it's like the multiverse. It's like a Daniel Mullins multiverse. All the games kind of have, like, ties to different games. No, this game is very good, though. Even though I think, again, the game slightly drags on a bit too long, I think it's good. It's very good. I'm going to give this game an 8, man. I'm going to give this game an 8, honestly. I think Inscryption, out of the... I think we've only played one other card game. The only other card game we've played was Slay the Spire. I would say my favorite card game, we played LOR, I guess. The visuals of this game in the cabin with Leshy are top tier as fuck. You actually think you're in a completely different place as to where the game leads. But yeah, I'm going to give it an 8, man. Overall, great game. I would recommend it. I think some people might find it a little bit of a drag as it progresses. I did like the live segments, too, with Lucas, where he's kind of going through his camcorder. That's fun. Inscryption. A solid 8 is where I'm at on this game. Easily a solid 8. Above average. A work of art, if anything. I was just hoping for the narrative to be a little bit more compelling, I suppose. That was my biggest gripe. And then maybe just how kind of dragged on it felt between Chapter 2 and 3 a little bit. But yeah, there's no denying that this guy makes excellent games. From what I've heard. This one was great. I'm sure his other games are great. Pony Island 2, it's the same developer. What? Well, Slay the Spire is good. Well, we're not talking about Slay the Spire here. But yeah, solid 8. Would you guys say that, like, the beginning of the game is kind of spooky? Because Inscryption was supposed to be a little bit spooky initially. Not really. It was atmospheric for sure. I mean, who is this guy? You've got two big eyeballs staring back at you, and as he talks, they're like, you know, entrancing you or something. I thought it was going to be kind of a horror game, almost, like a spooky, you know, you're in a role-play session with a serial killer, and if you fail, he's going to fucking kill you. Which he did, but he was still the least ambitious of the bunch, and so that was just him having fun, I guess. It was an escape room with a maniac. Yeah, exactly. I would agree with all those puzzles, yeah. Each step led you closer to kind of getting out the door. If you don't know what's going on, Leshy is kind of scary. He is a bit scary. Oh, yeah. But yeah, really good game. Very memorable. And I think we're going to leave it at that. He's killing you because it's the cycle of life. Yeah, but you gotta live your life. Bro's just like, well, you had a chance, now die. And then do it again, do it again, do it again. I gave Disco Elysium like a 9.5. I think I'd be at like a 9, though, with that game. 9.25. But yes. With that being said, folks, that is Inscryption. I'm gonna give it a solid 8. And I don't think there's much more to say. Just a great game. You know, the praise this game gets is pretty high. I think I was looking on Steam, and it's got overwhelmingly positive. It's got an 85 on Metacritic. Yeah, I'd say so, for sure. 8 to 8.5 is where this game deserves to be, 100%. It's got overwhelmingly positive. 72,397. That's very impressive. This game, you know what? If this game was made by one person, I mean, the intro alone is so insane to look at. The music is great, the mood is great, the animations are great, everything is so fucking smooth and so compelling. It really is special. The Leshy portion, I would say, is like the most special. And then the post-session, I believe as well is pretty great. The second one, I suppose, is just kind of like a Pokemon-esque, you know, go around beating the scribes, them being like the trainers. It's unique. You're right. This game is completely unique. And I think when it comes to an experience, that uniqueness needs to be talked about quite a bit. You know, you can have a great game, but you can also have a game that's very safe. This game is great, and it isn't safe. I don't think I've seen anything like this in any other game. It's just, you know what it kind of reminds me of? Some sort of like Miyazaki, you know, weird, I don't give a fuck, let's do it, or like, Kojima, like a Kojima production where the game ends and then it's like, nope, there's an ending scene after the credits that you play out. And then there's another credit scene. That's kind of what it reminded me of a little bit. Like if you were to play this guy's games, right? Daniel Mullen Games. I've never heard of this guy until now. I'm assuming the quality of these games are pretty damn high, and they're compelling. Just assuming. I'm not sure. From what I just played, I hope the other ones are kind of like it, because that was cool. But yeah. A very well-deserved success. The fact that this game came out on console as well is pretty damn cool. In a way, I wish... Let me ask you this. Would it be wrong to say that I wish Part 2 and 3 were gone and they expanded more on Part 1? In a way? And then maybe had the whole idea of, like, the weird program, the old data still be in there somewhere? It's a very different vibe once you get to, like, Chapter 2 and 3. I don't know. Inscryption is an inky black card-based odyssey that blends the deck-building roguelike escape room-style puzzles and psychological horror into a blood-laced smoothie. Part 1 is amazing. Yeah. No, you know what? It's cool that he did it beyond Part 1, though. You essentially play 3 separate games. And it's all interlocked, and there is this big, weird, weeding story. It's... The best way to describe it is it's fresh. It's unique, it's interesting, it's different, and it landed. Great game. Well, folks, YouTube, Twitch, that is going to be it for Inscryption. Yeah, man, honestly, not much more to say, I think. I think I've said my piece on the game for now. Eventually we may revisit some games in the very far future. It felt like a passion project, oh, for sure. It didn't feel like, he was trying to make a game for anyone in particular. He just wanted to make one that he was fond of, something that he was proud of. It was about Hitler and Satan. I didn't see any of that in this game. What? What? I think that's a theory. What? I don't know, brother. I don't know. Is it? You think it is? Well, whatever the old data is, it's not something that we should be meddling with. I think that's the idea. Don't meddle with the old data. The game explicitly says don't go looking for it, don't uncover it, don't try to involve yourself with it, get away from it. Right? And the company came and killed Luke over the old data. So clearly they knew something and they wanted it back. And, yeah. Data. You could say data or data. I think it's data. What? Says who? What? Why? What? Says who? Well, look it up, but who said it? Did the guy who made the game said it? Oh my god, what is this? It says, in the ARG, it is revealed that the Karnoffel code is a computer algorithm of supernatural origin and recovered by the Soviets during the Cold War after gaining possession of Adolf's corpse. and discovering a conspiracy related to him, a deck of Karnoffel playing cards. A German card game that specifically ordered the cards were arranged in. A spy named Barry Wilkinson had gotten a copy of the Karnoffel code from the Soviets and sent it to Kaminsky, who ran a data center in Germany. He hid it on a floppy disk among other empty floppies, which eventually fell into the possession of Casey Hobbs. As such, the old data appears to be a form of the Karnoffel code, which in the game's narrative is connected to the seemingly supernatural corruption affecting the game Inscryption. It doesn't. I feel like that doesn't lead anywhere. If that's the case, it's a lot of. I don't think that does the game any justice, bro. I don't think that really means anything. You know what I mean? I think that's a bit too much. Yeah. And then yeah, it's a bit too much. But that's interesting if that was the plan, I suppose. You know, that's interesting. That would explain the CIA document. So what was it supposed to be? Some sort of like German paranormal floppy disk? The soul of Adolf is in there? What? I don't know. Listen, that is for the people who come together on the servers of Reddit and Discord to decide. I cannot. I don't know, bro. I don't know. That's a little bit deep. Interesting. What I would like to know, if that was the case, I'd like to hear it from the dev, if that was the point. But you know, some things are best, you know, held behind closed doors, right? Locked away. I guess that's the point of these secrets, right? They want the community to kind of figure them out, which is cool because you know a lot of people actually do. Apparently take this shit very seriously, and you know that's great, man. If you like this stuff, then go for it, because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in games that haven't really been cracked yet, right? It takes a lot of patience and just kind of combing through each game segment, like each scene, each text, anything in these games, you know, that has some sort of like deep secret. You've got like a community of people behind that apparently love diving into it and just cracking everything, and that's cool. You know, and that goes to show you that what you've created is compelling enough for people to do that, which is also awesome. A lot of paranormal research during World War II. Yeah. The breadcrumbs are there. Well, if that's the case, that's weird, man. That is strange. My rating still stays the same. It's still going to be 8 for Inscryption. I feel like this game does run deep. But in terms of how you kind of take things and, I suppose, process them, it was a good game for what it was, you know, beyond all that stuff. So, that is it, folks. That is Inscryption. And we will be on tomorrow for a brand new game. I think the game was supposed to be called No, I'm Not Human or something. I'm not sure. It's going to be one of those. But YouTube, you guys have yourselves an amazing night. Cool fucking game, man. Great game. All right, folks. Peace, and see you tomorrow. Fear and Hunger. Not right